welcome to the CDO Magazine series honoring the Global Power Women in Data class of 2020. I'm Anthony Dayton, Chief Product Officer at Tamer, and I'm your guest host today. Tamer is partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews with data leaders. Today, I'm here with Nalini Palavarapu, Head of Data Science, Customer Centricity at Bayer. Hello, Nalini, and congratulations.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you.
So maybe let's just start kind of at a macro level, and if you wouldn't mind sharing a bit about your career. I think people love to hear kind of what brought you to the world of data and at Bayer.
Yeah, definitely. So as you said, so I'm Nalini Palavarapu, Head of Data Science Customer Centricity at Bayer. I joined Bayer nearly 15 years ago as their, first data scientist. So education-wise, I have a dual master's and a PhD in computer science and bioinformatics. And I got introduced to AI in grad school as I was working on my computer science master's and PhD degrees. So that time, CDC approached us with a project of reading the research articles and then populating their epidemiology database with relevant ones. The way they were doing is they had human experts that were working on that particular task, and it became unmanageable for CDC to do it that way because the number of articles has exploded. So then they reached out to our team in Georgia Tech for help with how can you leverage AI to be able to do this work for us. And so after a series of innovations there and with much help from the human experts that were working in CDC, we developed an NLP algorithm that to our surprise, has started picking articles that the humans have missed, or in some cases, the performance levels it showed increased performance levels. So that got me really into the firsthand experience of showing the power of data as well as the AI in doing some of the tasks and enhancing the human ability or enhancing some of the decisions that humans are doing. So that continued throughout my grad school. And after a few fun years, then as I was graduating, I met my current employer, Bayer, at a university career fair. And the situation at Bayer around that time is it's AI or machine learning was not that much known in the organization. There were few leaders and handful of leaders hearing about it in conferences and so on. And they were wondering, like, what can this technology do for a traditional life sciences company for us? And when they noticed that I have a background in AI, they said, oh, this is perfect. Let's hire her and do an experiment with her. So that conversation led to a job offer, and I was more of an experimental hire. And my first few years was proving out the technology, laying the foundations, and seeing what can this do for a company like us. So the first 5 years were spent on the foundational aspects of it, as well as had to work through certain cultural aspects of it too, because it was very new, and also it was not that much known in the external world as well. So there is not that external input that is coming to us. So the first 5 years was building the team, the foundations, the innovations, and aspects of that. And as we saw there is a huge promise there, then I moved on to the business function where this technology is actually impacting the decisions. And I built over the team from ground up in that particular business function. And the business function has seen a dramatic increase in the usage of technology and impacting the decisions that particular organization is doing. So this was the research R&D part of the Bayer. And I did that for the next 5 years. And the team, we started using different learning algorithms going all the way from descriptive to predictive to prescriptive to cognitive, as well as we brought in different flavors of AI like stats, machine learning, then operations research. So we brought in different flavors and we started building the algorithms there. So now I am leading the data science function in the commercial space of our company. And here my team is primarily focused on 4 things. One is the new business models, thinking about how using data and analytics, how can we change or think about different way of going to market there. So that's one aspect of it. The second aspect of it is the customer experience and the customer interaction. So again, leveraging data and analytics to provide that seamless customer experience for our farmers and end users. And then the third aspect of it is the marketing side of it. How do we have better marketing strategies and go-to-market approaches? And finally, we also work on the pricing of our products. Like how do we effectively price our products so all the partners that are involved in their benefits from it. So that's the team that I currently lead now.
That's great. I hate to go way back, but it sounds like the work that you did in grad school was really interesting. And this linkage between the human experience and how the human feedback really helps build great machine learning, and how the human plus the machine, it's a really important theme. It's something we've noticed at Tamer as well. So I mean, just as a little bit of a side topic, the idea of Tamer is to apply machine learning to the task of data mastering. And what we find is that the human in the loop strategy is the right design paradigm for getting there. So you can't just build a machine learning algorithm in the abstract, but you need to have human input because there are parts of a task that humans are better at. But I love this idea that you brought up where the machine actually started highlighting articles that the humans had not. It's like the machine took the human intelligence and added to it.
And that has been the theme all along as well, Anthony, and coming into Bayer Crop Science as well. So when we build these innovations, and that the first thing we say is the human plus AI is what brings in the power. So it's not like one versus other. So it's both is what is bringing the power and enhancing the decision making as well as the quality of the decisions. And there are certain things humans are really good at, certain things machines like AI, they are really good at. And how do you combine those? And even in Bayer, in some of the projects that we have been working on, we observed that there were certain things that the AI is highlighting that humans would have missed. And at the same time, the other way is true too. Like humans are the ones who are building the algorithm. And so it's their expertise that is going in there. So quite a bit of working in synergy there.
So that's, I couldn't agree more. Maybe actually helping to make this real for listeners. Are there some examples of projects that you worked on, things you were particularly proud of, or which really highlight this union and joining of human experience with machine learning and AI?
Yeah. So with regard to Bayer, we have been operating for a number of years, and across these number of years, we collected huge amounts of data. So if we go to our product pipeline, how we develop our products, there we have been developing products for decades. And so we collected vast amounts of data about the products, and not only just the products, but how they perform in a given environment, which is like in a given soil conditions or weather conditions. We have been testing heavily across the country and across the globe, and we have a lot of information there. And we use all that information to make decisions on what products should we take forward, and then what products to finally bring forward to our end customers. So where machine learning or AI comes in is it can now take that all the insights from that data sets that we gather, and it can provide information or insights on what's the best approach here. If we takes one product forward, then how is it going to perform few years down the road? So AI has helped accelerate our product development pipeline, and all this is bringing real true value. And the way the value is coming is that our products, we are able to develop products faster and better products. And just one example is AI combined with the other technologies that happen in the genomic space. We now can breed the crop, like can select develop the seed and breed it literally gene by gene. That is how much information that we have in our hands today. And to put it in perspective, so when I started grad school, that was the time when human genome was sequenced, or just human genome was sequenced just
at an enormous cost, if I recall.
Yeah, it's an enormous cost. So it took almost more than $1 billion, and it's a massive effort across the world to sequence that human genome. And that was a technological breakthrough. To fast forward now, 20 years down the road, where we are now today is that with the kind of technology that we have in our hands, for less than $10, we can get enough information about a seed where we can know what its yield is going to be when it's planted. So that's how much advancement that we have today. And so all this data, there's huge data that is coming there. And there is, just imagine like a 2x2 chip here, just like a 2x2. And that chip today, we can generate, using that chip, we can generate enough information that's there in 14 acres of data. So that's the scale of what we have. So now combine that with the AI or machine learning technologies there. So that's creating magic. And using that, what we were able to do is we were able to actually shave off 1 year from our product development pipeline. And also the products that we are releasing to the market are of much higher yielding than if we had done them otherwise.
And that's really the lifeblood of your industry, is how quickly you can develop these products, deliver them to market, and literally help feed people and create better life for everyone who uses those seeds and those crops and the output that it creates.
Exactly. So one is getting the products really good. The other is now giving those products and providing advisory services to the end customers. And so the way that you can see is we as humans, like every human is different, right? The same applies to the farm as well. So every farm is different in terms of the soil conditions, in terms of the environment, the weather conditions. There's huge variability among the farms. So how one seed performs in one farm, or even a little bit of square meter of that farm is different from how it performs in a different one. So with all the information that we have, and combine that with the information of our farmers' farms, we now can prescribe tailored solutions. And what these tailored solutions are is that we can say, and this combined with the analytics, we can say that what's the right seed to plant in a certain square, in a certain piece of their land, then how to better manage their crop throughout the season with different agronomic practices like irrigation or pest management, so on, and how to better harvest, or what's the right time to harvest. So all these services, now we can tailor it to the end customers, farmers' needs, and provide it. So at the end, the outcome of their crop is going to be better.
So I'll say something controversial. Is it fair to say that Bayer is not a product company, but is a data company?
That's what we are saying. Like, we're saying that eventually we are a data science company as well, data science company. Yes, it's not controversial. You're not too far. We are so much into the digital transformation, and we see ourselves as data and analytics powering the decisions that we make at our company, both within the company as well as taking those forward to benefit our end customers.
So what are some of the challenges that you've seen in driving that transformation and becoming a data company and not a product company? And let me maybe, pun intended, seed the answer with one of the things we've seen in AI is, especially when you bring the human in the loop, is the risk of sort of introducing human bias into those algorithms. Mm-hmm. I'm sure this is an issue you've thought about. Maybe if you want to comment on that one specifically, or other challenges you've seen in becoming a data company.
Yeah, so I would say there are a few challenges there. One is the external world receptivity. So we have, and also really coming up with how does this new business model play a role? So if we take the data science to the external world, then we have to change the way our business models were. So one thing that we are piloting right now is we are piloting what we call as pilot or what we call as outcome-based modeling. So mainly what we do there is traditionally the way that we have been going to the end customers is we provide inputs, and these inputs being seed or chemicals or biologicals or traits. So those are the inputs we provide. And then the farmer takes it, and then whatever or how much yield they're going to get, that's theirs. So to now where we are changing is we are actually providing service here. And in this case, I'll take it little far, and we are providing a metric or selling a metric here. And that metric being a yield goal. So what it is that the farmer has a certain aspiration, right? Based on, hey, this is what I want to get from my field. And they also know their field, and they also know what their operations look like, and so on. And so they have a certain goal in mind. So now we partner with them on that, and we try to stay with them from the beginning all the way to the end to be able to deliver that aspiration of what they are looking for. And we are able to do that with data analytics, using heavy data and analytics there. So this is something that we have been piloting for a couple of years. And at the end, what the benefit that the farmer realizes is that if we deliver that and we go beyond what the goal was, then we partner there or we share it. But also, if there is a downside there and something bad happens, like how it happened last year with heavy floods in Midwest, then the farmer does not have to bear all the risk. We share the risk with them. So we are literally with them all through, and we are able to do that because we are able to provide them tailored solutions, and we are able to tell them how effective or how good the metric or what is the confidence that they can reach that. So on that, the challenge that you're asking is first proving out this technology, because this is really new. So we are piloting that, and also getting our external or customers comfortable with it and developing that trust in this technology. So that's one challenge that we are working on right now.
I think that's completely fascinating. And so, you really transition from being a product company to being a data company. And actually, I'll take it a step further. You're actually selling a business outcome.
Yeah.
Partnering with that farm to deliver the yield and the return that farm needs and wants. And I think there's a lot listeners can draw from that in your own business. If you think about moving from selling a product to selling the data about that product to actually, in a sense, partnering with the customer to sell the business outcome that the customer desires. Would that be a fair linkage to draw?
Exactly. And you're able to do that because of the data and analytics that the businesses have. That once your technology and your algorithms get sophisticated, then you can build that confidence there and say that now I can actually sell a business outcome.
So data is really the foundation for being able to create and partner to give the customer those business results that they desire.
Exactly.
Do you find yourself, if you think a little bit about the data management challenges associated with that, because you're relying on data that Bayer has, of course, and the algorithms and expertise that you have, but also the data that the customer, the farm has, and I'm sure you're also pulling data from weather, from satellites, from soil samples. I'm just imagining it must be a tremendous both quantity of data, but also highly variable data, different data quality levels, et cetera. Is that a fair?
Yeah, so we have all those data challenges with quality, quantity, then the siloed nature of that data, then not being connected with across different functions or platforms. So we have the data challenges that are out there, you name it. We have the data privacy challenges too. So when we are bringing in this external data, we have to ensure that we keep that data safe and we meet the contracts that we set up or the promises that we made to end customers. So we have all kinds of data challenges that you're naming up there.
And any advice you give people in terms of how to address some of those or things you've seen, particular strategies you've seen that are successful for that?
Yeah, so I would say that some things that worked for us, as well as some of the things that we are still working on that can help is like if you're thinking about going to this far of using analytics down the road and improving your business operations and external, the big crucial component is getting your data management right there. So ensuring that you have systems in place that the analytics models can feed off, as well as the analytics models can write back the insights too. Few things there. One is the siloed nature of the data. So ensuring like how do you bring the data across different functions together, so all that can feed into building this. Because at the end of the day, it's not one data set that will bring the power to draw an insight, but it's combining these data sets, varied data sets, and then from that getting the required insights. And then the other aspect is, I would say, data stewardship is a huge component there. And that goes back to the quality of the data as well as the connectedness. So we have this thing within our business itself. So we have many data sources that are sitting in various places, that are sitting in functions, that are sitting in IT, and there is a lot of local databases that are there. So now how do you, and there is a place for that too. You need some of those. It's not like everything has to now come to IT or so. But at the same time, how do you ensure that they are connected and they are talking to each other? So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect that you'll see is that the people who are generating the data, or it's usually seen that cleaning or quality assurance of the data is when you bring it to the systems, the data systems, and that's too late to take care of it then. How do you ensure that it's taken care of at the source of the creation? So what I would say is, if that's some of the stewardship aspects or quality aspects of it, if some of that can be moved to the functions which are generating the data, and much of that is taken care then, IT can be used for scaling, for building systems that can leverage that for analytics. So that's another place I would say take care of putting the frameworks in place so that the things are happening right at the time that they're being created.
Got it. I think that's very sage advice. And I just highlight a couple of themes there, this idea of breaking down silos, but also acknowledging that there are places where data needs to be local, it needs to be close to the people who generate it and that are consuming it. And then also thinking, I think you bringing up this idea of stewardship is great, because I think a lot of organizations aren't thinking that way, but you're absolutely, and that harkens back to where we started, which is the human. Ultimately, the steward is a person who's going to provide feedback and know when there's quality data, when there are problems, and then looping that back into source so that you can actually improve things. The other thing I would add, which in fairness is a biased comment, but I'll throw it out anyway, which is that there's an opportunity to apply machine learning to keep that human in the loop and actually build machine learning algorithms to do that. Certainly what Tamer does. And so if we can actually, to bring the two together, if you can have human in the loop feedback and then power that with a machine learning algorithm, that can actually be a really powerful way to create high quality data.
The way that I see is tools like you will help accelerate this.
Fair. So I'm going to ask you to predict the future, which is always dangerous, as any good person steeped in data and statistics would know. The future is hard to predict. But where do you see Bayer going and data in this industry going? What do you think some of the big changes we'll see? And maybe just to, again, think a little bit about, the cloud and, highly scaled technology like that, machine learning in the cloud. Are there any trends that you see or things that you think everyone who's watching should be paying close attention to?
Yeah, so first of all, you might have noticed already, like I'm big into AI and machine learning, and so that's where I come from, and I see that increasing more and more into enabling the decision making of the humans, and even to far extent that it can help us find solutions for some of the major global challenges that we are having, like how are we going to feed the 9 or 10 billion people that we are going to have by 2050. So machine learning can be leveraged there to solve some of those, or climate change, or now health issues. So there is huge benefits there, and I can see it only increasing. And so if you think about from the data standpoint, or how can data be used to enable there, one thing that I also am noticing right now is organizations are at a place where they can build solutions and they can build point solutions. But some challenges that organizations are still having is how do you scale it and how do you integrate it into the operations. And so that more technology that we have with providing not only, or with not only helping with the developing of the initial solutions, but also faster scaling of it in terms of let's take the data aspect of it, the data storage of it, and how do you store it differently for one kind of applications to a different kind of applications. Then machine learning algorithms that are working at a faster rate as well as working in a tailored fashion for that particular industry, as well as how do we provide tools to as much as data science is fancy and all, there are not that many people that know the real way of how to do the algorithms. Now, several universities have started programs, and there's a lot of training programs that are there. But still, for it to become pervasive, it has to be democratized, and the more people can use it, the more advantage that you will get there. So how can we get the technologies so people with little background can still get benefits from there? So those are all the areas that I see are going to happen more and more in the future.
So it's really about scale. And
Yeah.
what you're saying is scaling it from a data storage and processing for sure, from a technology perspective, but also scaling it from a human perspective, how we
Yeah.
find more people who know these things, understand these algorithms, and can apply them at scale.
Yes, it's primarily the scale, and you need that to be able to apply it to its potential.
Perfect. Well, again, Nalini Palavarpu, thank you and congratulations, and thank you for the insights. And with that, we will sign off.
Thank you, Anthony. It was a pleasure talking to you.